thinking. If he makes it through and he changes the entire draft, things could get really rumbly really quick.
I mean, I think it's going to be first picked, right? You know, it's not banned out, so
It's
I think
the
it's just
most
gonna be
popular
first
mid
pick
lane
Azir,
blind pick.
100%.
All right, let's see it then. CLG, what's it going to be? We also still have Sivir, we still have Zeri, we still have Lulu.
Okay,
we still
Poppy.
have Poppy, and Poppy will be the first pick of the draft.
Interesting. You know, the Azir is for sure going
With-
to Jensen, then you have to think.
Yeah, with Hex Flash disabled, I feel like that's not the correct priority, but it does mean it's going to be traded over to Cloud9, so they're very happy about that. Good
They could
call,
go-
I think, leaving up that Poppy.
They could just go Azir Sivir if they want, right? Like, if you want to go
Shurima.
scaling, those are some really powerful champions. And it is comfort picks absolutely for them. It's also comfort picks for their opponents. So, to me, you go Azir Sivir 1-2, unless they want to take the Zeri side of the match. Oh, blind Draven! He's saying you can't pick Sivir now.
I love the fact that they pick it expecting that their opponents will take either Sivir or Zeri into it, and they're saying, we'll blast you. Either one of those are dying the Draven.
Oh, baby. The bottom lane was already as aggressive as possible, and now there's going to be a Draven down there looking for blood. What does CLG have to answer it? Are they still trying to scale with Zeri? With both enchanters banned out, the Yuumi and the Lulu already banned out. So you can go Renata. You could even, I think Janna is underrated, underpicked currently, but we shall see what they go with. You can also go, you know, melee engage supports with the Zeri, but it's going to be that first one, that Renata.
I forgot Janna's in the game.
Yeah, actually, because she's so underrated.
Well,
It's gonna
there
be
it
an
is.
interesting one.
Renata, locked
I mean,
in.
And they do lock in the Zeri as well. And obviously solo queue different than pro, but I know statistically in solo queue, Draven has out of any bot lane champion has the best win rate against Zeri in the game. So, you know, this is statistically, at least for solo queue, Draven's best matchup.
And hey, that's what I'm saying. They were confident slamming it blind because they knew it was going to be Sivir or Zeri, and they were confident in that. C9 hovering over this. I fully expect them to lock it. Trundle versus Poppy feels great for Trundle because he can sap all of that armor and MR that Poppy likes to build and then really be a big meatball in his own right in the middle of the fights.
But we have still seen the Poppies be supremely effective, even against the Trundle counterpicks that have come out. Ultimate bopping them away from objectives. Going for more ganks, more effective ganks, has been the difference maker for this Poppy. And that's really what this game comes down to. And this series is now going to come down to the effectiveness of this priority on the first pick Poppy. Giving up the Azir over there. Palafox does have, you know, counter picks like Yone into the Azir. If Cloud9 don't ban the Yone, I think that for sure gets slammed. It's one of his favorite picks, plus it is good into Azir.
It would be really interesting to see them kind of slam that down here. They're going to ban away the Amumu, looking for some of the engaged supports. Nautilus has already been taken off the table, now taking away that Amumu. Alistar obviously is a big one, but can be tough to actually pin down that Zeri with the dashes. Can be difficult, so we're going to need to see what that will be, because I do feel like the last couple of games, CLG bot lane has been getting the better of the C9 with that Zeri into Sivir matchup, so they definitely want to be dominating here, playing with momentum, now that they have the Draven.
Last ban for C9 will be Silas.
Okay,
They
Yone's up.
I better see a Yone then for CLG. The last ban, though, they continue to whittle down on those engaged supports, try and protect that Zeri.
Yeah.
Draven wants to obviously go for the engages super early on. Wants to get as aggressive as possible. So, you know, the Leona, you know, is in the mix still. Possibility there.
Yeah, it is interesting because the only engaged support left that Zven has actually played this split is the Alistar, and he only has the one game on it. They are instead going for Pyke. I have seen him play a lot of Pyke in Champions queue.
Yes.
So it is something that he definitely does specialize in. But Leona, as you said, that's definitely an option, as is the Alistar.
There's got to be, there's some sort of meme there about how, of course, the AD carry that switched to support plays Pyke above all the other supports because you still get to farm. You still get to get the kills. You still get to be the hero.
Want your cut.
Yep, exactly.
Oh.
But they're going to take the Ashe. Ashe Draven. Zven had some awesome Ashe play in game number 1, but a different type of a game here this time.
Yeah, why play, you know, AD Pyke, you know, carrying bottom lane? Just play an AD carry, baby, again!
Exactly.
The lethality rush. Let's see it. CLG. All right, comes down to the solo lane picks.
Just go like Ari, or we can get the spicy pick like you're
I
talking
really
about.
think the Yone. Okay, he also
Okay.
made his name in Academy on the Akali, one of the most feared picks for Palafox. Akali got extra energy regen on Shroud and max energy on this patch, so also got a little buff.
Yone as well. So this could actually be Dhokla taking the Akali top. So it could be the Yone mid, but they both play it. So it's totally a flex.
Flex picks for both of them. Both of the soul laners for CLG do it. Yone not banned. Yone picked up. What's going to be the final answer? Renekton good early into both of them. I think that they should put actually the Akali versus it on top side though.
And I love the fact that CLG picked these two flex picks at the end of their draft because that nullifies one of the biggest advantages of red side in draft phase in its entirety, right? Like having the last pick of the draft is supposed to secure you some kind of a meaningful counter, but when you can't really do it because you got to pick something that can play into either one, it's nice drafting from CLG.
And I do think it's a smart all-around pick here, going for the Renekton. Haven't traded quite yet. Not sure if they're...
Don't worry. There's a...
I just
0%
am getting flashbacks to the
chance
trade bug.
Okay.
I'm getting not a see. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm loving this. LCS rave, baby. Let's do it.
I feel like I'm getting brainwashed. I'm gonna be seeing Poome's face in my sleep.
Alrighty, boys. Where's the action gonna be here this time? What are we thinking?
Bottom lane for sure.
Okay.
Draven Ashe, baby.
They believe in CLG.
They do.
Okay, level 1 here. Everybody just keeping an eye on each other. Fudge and Dhokla. We're expecting Dhokla up there top side. Ignite, teleport on this Akali. Teleports for all 4 of our solo laners, but the Akali not needing to take the flash because of the incredible amount of mobility and safety present in the character's kit already. Bottom lane, it is cleanse for both of our AD carries. Heal for both supports. No exhausts anywhere on the map. As well, Dhokla's got to try to get away from
flash,
this.
remember.
The flash follow. C9's looking for him. They will not get the kill, but Dhokla's at 200 HP now.
Teleport
He's
back.
going to have to teleport back into lane at level 1.
He's gonna have to teleport back, and they're gonna lose the blue buff. So again, they're going for this early game.
He's just drinking potions. He's just drinking potions. He doesn't want to spend the TP. He's just walking back up.
Well, he's gonna get zoned out of experience there. Contractz does finish up on his wolves, so he gets 1 camp out of his blue quadrant. Meanwhile, Dhokla trying to get into experience range of the melee minions.
Fudge isn't gonna let him. Fudge just needs 1 more hit to get it first blood. Cloud9.
It's a trade kill. You wanted first blood before 3 minutes, Flowers. You got it.
2.
You got 2 kills.
Almost every game this series it has been there. Observers, can you refresh the CS as well once again? Get those things updated because they're getting kills already on the board, baby. 1-for-1 trade in the top lane. I want to see what items.
But it is Fudge who gets the first blood, so he's going to come out on top there, with the better buy. And I think the wave is likely going to be coming towards him. We didn't get to see exactly how much was chipped away at there. Dhokla was trying to just get in XP range, but Fudge just walks straight at him. Has the rage stacked up for the empowered W, gets the first blood. They're going right at him.
You know, the meme about Renekton is you start losing the game as soon as you load into the game because you're already getting outscaled. But when you can just do that at level 1, I think you're taking advantage of those early power windows pretty nicely.
I think Dhokla actually got himself out of a pretty bad situation, though, because getting zoned out of experience would have been worse, and ending up with a 1-for-1 trade there, and then being able to get a bunch of experience right now is actually kind of bailing out what was a devastating invade. The real part for Cloud9 was the invade that they pulled off so much damage dealt to Dhokla, both flashes from Blaber and Fudge, to get them into that position.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's actually not that bad for Dhokla. If he didn't get the return kill, it would have been like, lane is over. But because he does, they're in a pretty decent spot. Zven stepping forward. Anytime he has the Hail of Blades, he's going to look to get those quick trades out. And it also means you get to farm your gold on your support items so much faster.
Oh, yeah.
He already has 250 almost earned, 3.5 minutes in here on the Spectral Sickle. So pretty insane how much gold he's actually pumping out. Yes, eventually Poome will complete his support item. They'll both get 1K, but having the earlier spikes matters a lot.
Meanwhile, they've got Contractz wrapping around to counter jungle on this blue side since he was chased out of his top side, and he could get behind this bottom lane of Cloud9 that were so heavily pushed up.
He's flashing!
He flashes the wall. He slams him back in, and he sets up Luger to grab the kill. Beautiful killer instinct coming out from CLG's jungler.
This is the bad part about going for the swapped jungle positions here. Because of the invade here on the top side for Blaber, you split the map, but you've got a pushing bottom lane. You picked Draven Ashe to push up, and you're splitting the jungle map here, so you're leaving yourselves exposed to the gank from behind.
CLG, 2-1, 4.5 minutes in. They got Berserker underneath the turret. They just want to get this up, crash this into the turret, let Luger and Poome be able to get themselves back here. And there it is. Not a whole lot else to do down here. So Luger and Poome can reset, use some of that money a little bit. Poome trading with Zven, who's honestly eating a lot of damage from these minions.
Yeah, the minions are hitting him pretty hard there, but Zven, maybe going to be able to volley over. Can he interrupt the recall? That would be, it doesn't have volley cooldown yet. That would actually be really big to kill the tempo there, but it's so big that Zeri is the one who got the kill. It's not onto Contractz, it is onto the Zeri who they're trying to keep down with this 2v2.
That was actually insane recalling position because he was just outside of the vision ward as well, so Cloud9 don't get the interrupt, but this is what I'm talking about. He wrapped all the way around here. He went to counter jungle on Gromp to be able to get it, and then flashes over. You've got an easy angle on the wall, so he's dead for sure there. Ashe, no way to get out of it. Zven doesn't use any summoner spells after the fact because he knows he's dead as well.
And I don't even know if they actually saw him flash the wall because he flashed into the brush, right? So I'm not sure if they would have heard it when it was out of Zven, but...
Whoa! Zven, you okay, buddy? Okay, he's okay for now, but man, Luger ready to keep this lead rolling.
At the end of the day, though, that's flash on your support for flash on Luger, so I do think Cloud9 are going to be pretty happy about that. Yes, it is the heal down, but it is going to potentially draw in those ganks.
Oh, Palafox gets over the wall in time. Remember, if you can step in front of that ulti from Yone, you can stop him from getting the distance, but they couldn't put a body there, so Palafox gets away with the ult.
Dhokla here approaching his level 6 on the Akali with Ignite ready. Then you actually can fight with the Renekton and threaten your all-in for those kills. Meanwhile, Dragon transition as Blaber fighting over the crab, positioning here on the bottom side. Luger, even with 6 range minions worth of damage, you do not want to trade with Draven.
Especially not when he has that serrated Dirk. Yes, Luger was able to go back and purchase the Noon Quiver, but serrated Dirk very, very strong early on, even for a cheaper price point. As Palafox goes in, uses the Soul Unbound to get a quick trade. As Contractz has to be careful. Fudge wants to flash in. Contractz dashes back, and Contractz gets away. Both flashes from the Cloud9 solo laners, both ults from the Cloud9 solo laners get nothing.
That was huge. Contractz just able to tackle right back over the wall and get out there. You're thinking no flash on Contractz, he's got to be dead to rights when they're committing double flashes like that, but they can't take him down.
Yeah, you know what I was thinking when he was walking up through the mid lane? I was like, that is a dangerous path. What do you think you are doing? Where are you going? And in the end, they actually get summoner spell positive trade for CLG. Luger is just barely up there at the top of the graph as Fudge has been doing very well for himself. As of course, we saw all the constant bullying of the Akali, which post level 6 starts to fall off a bit. Fudge, nice little roam timer, even though Cloud9 unable to convert on that kill. Contractz barely, that charge gets him to safety.
Nicely done early on from CLG's jungler. Back down here in bottom lane, Berserker's piling up stacks, but remember, he needs to get a kill before he gets a death. That's so big on these early games for Draven.
Absolutely. I mean, that's often what hinges, like the entire game hinges on that. Palafox going to be looking to get aggressive here. He knows that Jensen has no TP and no flash and no potions remaining. And Palafox's ulti is now back up. So if Jensen is not in the good position, he could get taken advantage of here. Palafox could look for some sort of an all-in.
All right, Palafox tries to walk it off as Blaber shows up. No, there's your traffic cone, and Palafox has to flash over it to stay safe. Contractz, meanwhile, has the Rift Herald all aggroed up.
Careful, don't let it change targets. Yeah, it's already on the range here, so it leashes. Because he was trying to hover for Palafox on that gank towards mid, releashes, gonna take a lot longer to finish up this Rift Herald. Meanwhile, Trundle still kind of hovering around mid lane here, and Palafox no longer has the flash, so good kind of gank pressure for Cloud9. Wastes a lot of CLG jungle pressure, and they're gonna even have to give up.
Oh, Palafox goes in, but he misses the fate sealed. Now he's got to snap back, and Contractz isn't there yet. Fudge still using the Dominus, so they're going to eject Blaber away as Fudge is about 1/3 HP. Zven rotates up into this topside fight now, too. Fudge continuing to walk this one off. He will lose the ulti here very soon. There it is. Transforms back into the small gator. Everybody's coming up to join the party, my friends.
Yeah, this is a good couple minutes, though, for C9. You know, Blaber really covering Jensen well. Then the ulti off cooldown there for Palafox. The sidestep from Jensen was critical. He would have got taken out for sure. And now Cloud9 have 5 members here. Yone not in the area, so it should potentially be their Herald.
CLG actually are going to fight it. Instead of pushing mid for turret plates, they want this 5-on-5. There's no ult on Akali.
This is a very dangerous choice from CLG, but here they come. Eyeball not secured by the side of C9. Poome's able to find the ulti here at the very start of the fight, and now Luger is ready to go to town. Fudge wants to get away, but Palafox's Q3 gives him some more DPS, and Palafox gets the execution kill.
They get the Rift Herald for Cloud9. It's 300 gold to kill, but they lose 2 in the process. CLG, they have enough time for Palafox to go all the way back to base and make it back out for this one. That's why I'm expecting that Yone counter pick. They leave up the Azir. Palafox loves this one. He gets back into it, and now he's got some gold.
And one of the biggest things is that they don't even pick up the eye. They can actually kick it in. CLG just fights them off the eye here. The Berserk coming across, really, really big. Then the handshake in, flash into the wall stun there from Contractz. Really nicely played, everything hitting here as well from Palafox. You can see the bailout on him for the additional attack speed and move speed keeps him up on Fudge.
Big support plays from Poome in this one. Ults from around that Rift Herald wall, flashes forward for that handshake you're talking about to get him into position for the follow-up, and CLG have a meager gold lead after this one. Very, very close.
But it's not just about what you have. It's about what they don't have. And them not having that eyeball, not being able to open up more of the map and destroy any of these objectives when they want to group up, that's going to help them a lot too. As Dhokla goes in there, but he misses the Shuriken flip. That's a huge chunk of Akali's damage in these trades.
Got R1.
So yeah, he can just use the ulti to further disengage this one. And bottom side, Contractz looking for it yet again. Zven and Berserker trying to get away. CLG don't want to let him. Berserker's down. Luger's on a killing spree. It's Zeri!
That's 4 kills on the Zeri for CLG, which has been their biggest strength here. So fed. Luger already had the shield bow done. Now they're getting turret plates and looking at Blaber.
And that's Berserker's death. He does not have the ability to cash in before he gets paid. Blaber, you're in trouble, buddy. Okay, he gets away. He gets away. He's cool. But man, Berserker just lost so much money on those adoration stacks.
Yep, he lost. He went from 246 to 74. Now he has so a massive amount of stacks already lost. Zeri's going to be way ahead. This bottom lane has not worked out at all, you know, largely because of Contractz and the early pressure he's put on, punishing them, you know, with that flash over the wall, the first kill, and now getting those sums out and getting the kills here onto his marksman every single time.
Yeah, it comes down to how you want to play the entire map. And since Cloud9 invested, again, very heavily into that jungle invade on top side early, and Contractz went for the bottom side play, when you are in a game with Draven behind 4 kills to a Zeri,
it's rough.
That is extremely rough, because the Zeri is going to scale very, very well. Already well past the power curve here.
Palafox just trying to use that Q3 while he had it stacked there. Whenever Yone's got Soul Unbound active, he's always just trying to trade as aggressively as possible. Poome roaming around, clearing out some vision again. I'm expecting our teams to start looking at Drake here soon.
Yeah, that is exactly why the Yone is such a potent counter pick into the Azir, used so heavily for these trades. And when you get ulted back by the Azir, easy snapback, immuning the CC here available to the champion. So constant threat, constant aggressive takes.
Speaking of aggressive, Berserker finding his way onto Poome, who can honestly just walk off the rest of it. Will not lose that last second half of the health. As you can see, the top side still controlled pretty heavily by Fudge. It is still early game. It is still Renekton. Divine Sunderer done now for Blaber, showing up on the scoreboard as he's walking out of base from his most recent back.
Turret plate acquired for Berserker at the very least for the Draven.
Yep.
About 1,000 gold behind directly from Luger. And control ward here for CLG in the Tri-Brush again, though. And both junglers are going to meet up. Blaber's coming around over vision.
Palafox just keeps on chasing him until he's forced to revert that position.
Sees him.
Blaber and Contractz know that each other are around. Okay, all right, we're chilling right now. Luger's still the man to keep your eyes on. Cloud9 knows he's got to go first if they want to be able to win these fights. Blaber finds his pillar on the Contractz. Contractz in trouble. Berserker in the money.
The C9 bottom lane, beautiful ultimates there. Zven nails him with the arrow. Contractz flash afterward, and Berserker's execution with the ultimate. This is huge stuff for Cloud9. Getting the dragon in the aftermath there.
Absolutely necessary for them as well. You know, get that Draven to a good point. It's not the massive cash in he wanted, but it's still a really big kill. He's up farm, and they got the flash off of Contractz there while killing him.
And I think getting this dragon back on track for Cloud9 in that opening is really huge too, to allow them to start stacking, because otherwise they have no business around it. This is a 4-kill Zeri bottom lane.
And here she goes again. Berserker stepping back as he sees the zap of the wall. Means it's time to head behind the turret, back to more safety. He's 1v2 for now. Zven will be returning to lane. Does not have his arrow cooldown ready, so he can't just shoot one straight down the lane and go for the surprise engage there just yet.
Also worth noting, last game, because he got those early 2 kills, he went for early lethality. This time around, he's going straight for the Imperial Mandate, right? He has the early Kindle gem here. He has the mana regen beat. I don't even know what that thing is called. But, you know, he's going to be going more for that kind of utility style, which I think really makes a lot of sense when you're lower on the gold income.
I think it's a fairy charm. At least that's what it used to
Sounds
be.
right.
We've changed a lot of the names.
Check.
But let's see if Palafox...
It is fairy charm.
Nice! That's literally just boomer knowledge. I totally guessed based on what it was called 10 years ago. But hey, we got there. C9, they're trying to get there and catch back up to CLG here in this game. Despite the 4-kill advantage, C9 is keeping the gold nice and close. Remember, they might have got that first Herald, but they weren't able to claim the eye and actually use the objective because CLG outfought him in the fight. However, Dhokla's still bottom. He has a teleport. Does CLG want to go after this? Yes, they do. They eject Blaber. The Herald's at 2,500. C9's getting away. It's stolen away by CLG. They'll grab it, they'll get the eye, but now it's going to be a fight. There comes Renata's ulti. There goes C9. Flash over the wall. Dhokla to the back. It's already 2 down. Luger's ready to go. Fate, shield, double kill Luger.
And CLG rip them apart with that Rift Herald they can take down and immediately push on mid lane as well. Dhokla follows them over the wall. You saw split comms from Cloud9. Zven and Jensen were trying to kill Palafox on the right side, and so Blaber takes the blast cone back into the pit to try and fight it because Cloud9 are saying, look, we can push forward. They've got the Yone low, but they were so split, they just get annihilated inside the pit. Palafox escaped from that extra Azir damage, and then they get the return with these big solo lane assassin picks for CLG. This is where they made their mark. Dhokla and Palafox, these guys coming back up from Academy on these assassin picks and really making them shine.
And that let Dhokla right back into the game. He'd been getting bullied in this lane. You know, after that early level 1 start, he'd been way down. Like, look at the farm between Fudge and Dhokla, but Dhokla gets a couple kills. He picks up a bunch of assists, and he's not even very far behind the Renekton any longer, which is such a big deal. I'm surprised, though, that Cloud9 went that hard on it. You know, Jensen had already been pushed out. They're looking for Poome now. Will force the flash.
Yup, he flashes the arrow to avoid the initial engage, so C9 will not get their pick there. If they did get the pick, there's not a lot for them to follow up on. Maybe they could try to force that tier 1 turret mid, which is still standing for CLG, but CLG commanding a 3,000 gold lead now. They've got this bottom lane tier 1 turret of Cloud9 also nearly dead. Dhokla's gonna push the wave up on this one. He goes in and looks for Jensen. Repositions himself a little bit with some fancy feet there. Jensen throws out the wall. Palafox coming down trying to help him out here. There's the kill. CLG get a freebie along with the turret.
And nicely done. You know, Jensen well-timed on the ulti, but just everyone from CLG piling in, taking him out very, very quickly. Fudge will trade back a tower on that top side, but it's been CLG running this 4th game.
I love plays where you can see in their little movements the comms in action, actually, because Contractz hesitated when they ran into the control ward, but then you see the moment in comms where they're like, hey, Fudge is top, no teleport Renekton. Hard force this, just brute force. There's no way they can answer our numbers. And they pull off the dive, they hard force, the tower goes down as well. Dhokla teleports in. That is simply teleport advantage. Good call from CLG coordinating their map play. The cost is, of course, hey, Fudge was top lane and he's split pushing up there, so he gets the tower in the aftermath. But CLG got the kill and got bottom tower, so definitely positive for them.
Absolutely, and I think the gold allocation is even better, right? right? Like I'd rather have gold on Dhokla versus gold on the Renekton. I would always trade that, for gold on your Akali, which they got. Plus they slow down the farm there of Jensen. Jensen was the only player left on Cloud9 who had not yet died, so he was not actually getting slowed down there, but is now, dead, taken down, and he's going to be pushed back on that kind of clip that he's been farming at.
Yeah, Dhokla's 3-1-4 right now, so the Akali's feeling really good, and you're up against a Draven and an Ashe bottom lane, which are both squishy, completely and utterly immobile targets. This is exactly what Akali wants. This is your highlight reel. This is your base drop. This is your montage.
I mean, Yone as well, man. Like, Ashe is just going to be food, right? Like, this champion from behind, it is rough. You are going to see why, a lot of people do not pick this at the pro level because it is so risky. You're playing so much around your lane dominant style that when that went bad, and I have to give so much of that credit to Contractz, right? Like Contractz, 70% KP, he's been involved in a lot. He is the one that got this bot lane going, and I think he is deserving of the credit for the position that CLG are in this game.
That was one of our biggest challenges and tests out of Champion Select. This first pick, Poppy, gonna have to prove big for them, and it has thus far, especially because the solo laners still had those flexible assassin counter picks for them later in the draft.
All right, update on what's going on. We have a bit of a visual bug of some kind for Poome. They're just restarting his client, and then once he's loaded back into the game, we'll be ready to go, and then hopefully we can resume off of that one.
Players saying ready.
Restart, we'll fix it. Are we getting the R in the chat?
You ready, chat? You ready?
Oh, baby, let's do it. All right, everybody's ready and up. The crowd has been wonderful today with the chants back and forth. If I wasn't already hoping it was going to 5 today, which I was, I would definitely be hoping it now. This has just been a whole lot of fun here on Summoner's Rift with these two teams.
Absolutely. And we're back into the game now. I'm sure it's going to pop up for you guys any second here. Let's get it.
All right, 6 kills Zeri problem. What you got for me? There's a 600 gold bounty on Luger's head.
Yeah.
And with the positioning we've seen from him so far this series, that is a liable bounty, okay? So Cloud9 have to be focusing on that right now. They've got Draven, Ashe, plenty of follow-up there from Jensen's Azir, so see if they can actually coordinate their efforts. Cleanse on Luger does make that harder to claim, of course. So even if that Ashe arrow is soaked, you can easily cleanse it and immediately try and juke away.
It's going to be really tough, right? Because if you hard commit to trying to burst down Luger, which you kind of have to from this point, and he's able to cleanse the arrow, he's able to get the bailout. Like, there's so much damage on the CLG side. There's a very high chance that they burst someone down, and then you get that bailout reset, and you come back to life.
I think you have to go for it while they're split. CLG have a very good 1-3-1, so they will be splitting with Yone Akali. Dragon's coming up now, so you want to converge on it. And it should be their reward with the lead they got off of that Rift Herald play. Basically, this giant 3K plus gold lead was acquired during the Rift Herald play for CLG. They got so many of those kills chasing down and the aftermath there of the Rift Herald charge. That will fund their further intimidation of these neutral objectives, and Dragon picked up for them, splitting 1-1.
Okay, so Infernal and Hextech, the two most offensive Drakes, are off the table. That means it'll be pure utility here with Cloud Soul showing up again.
And so it's an interesting scenario here where CLG, they're like, yeah, we've got a very natural 1-3-1 setup. Double assassins, teleport for Dhokla is going to be up. It does provide Cloud9 with an opportunity, again, to try and make an amazing Ashe arrow play. You know CLG are going to split the map. They're going to try and push on multiple lanes at once. If they get the Ashe arrow pick and have people there around to follow up, that's where Cloud9 could try and claw their way back into it.
And that's where you're going to have to see Zven look for some creative angles, because otherwise it's just going to be Poome tanking the arrow and cleansing it and backing off. And if I'm Poome, I'm going Mikhail second this game, I think for sure. Because honestly, from the position that you're in, the only way I really see things going awry is some sort of Ashe arrow stun on someone, bursting them down before they can really get out. Maybe an empowered Renekton stun, but both those can be shut down by the Mikhails pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, Cloud9 drafted 2 very strong lane bully lanes in top lane and bottom lane with Renekton and Draven. But they also do not scale very well. So that's why we can see CLG, now that they've acquired this comfortable lead, getting a bit calm with how they play the game. They're actually not even exposing themselves to a 1-3-1 pick. They just have Dhokla splitting. The rest of the team is grouping as 4 to not even allow Cloud9 that opportunity.
Here comes Contractz. Jensen tries to get away, manages to escape thanks to the ulti and the flash. Arrow flies through, hits Contractz, the one tanky member here on CLG. He has to flash back over the pillar, slams Renekton into the wall, and now Fudge gonna take some damage too. Contractz gets away with the heal. Palafox throws 3 of them up in the air.
R2.
Dhokla's ready to come on in, and Luger is godlike.
All right, they're gonna let him go with just the 1 kill here. Dhokla using the R2, too low HP to actually go in for those kills. Cloud9, a lot of expended cooldowns in addition to the extra kill for CLG. So the important things in a lot of these fights afterwards is count all of these flashes. The front line now very vulnerable, both Renekton and Trundle flashless if they get picked out at all. The mobility on the assassins here from CLG solo laners is so much that it just provides so much threat, even walking around the map, fishing for those. Plus Jensen's as well on the Azir.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think you can kind of feel a little bit of desperation now from Cloud9. They're trying to really force this. They've TP'd Fudge up towards top side though, but I love the aggressive move there from Contractz. Gets the stun onto Fudge. And C9 can't finish anyone off here whatsoever. And now back to live. It's on to Palafox. He's in trouble.
Yeah, I think they're going to finish this one. Fudge takes the kill there, so at least they'll be able to stop the CLG split push machine for a little bit.
Yeah, that's what they have to do. They have to pick people off in the 1-3-1 and then quickly try and defend the other areas. Here's another look at how it happened.
Arrow.
So, again, the key, firing from Fog of War. There's a little control word here by Blue, but Ashe is so far back that in the Fog of War, Zven fires it out. Really solid aim from him, and Contractz now gonna get dove.
Okay, Blaber using the subjugate there to make the target more vulnerable. Contractz tries to walk away, but he can't do it. Nice chomp from Blaber to guarantee the kill. Zap goes through the wall, but C9 brought a lot of bodies down here for that one.
Another pick for Cloud9. That's 2 picks, and they're gonna get this bottom turret. So CLG answered with the top turret, yes, because they show so many bottoms, so this one is gone. But Cloud9 get way more out of it. Back-to-back picks, 2 kills, plus the tower. These are the small steps that you have to make if you want to claw your way back in.
Absolutely, and I think for Cloud9, you know, you're just kind of highlighting those bounties and saying, if we can take down Luger, that's 1K. You know, we're looking for that.
Did you hear the audience shout for the chickens there? Like, oh my goodness, that Zeri W one-shot all the small chickens? That is a 7-kill Zeri with Infinity Edge, yes. So much damage.
Oh, speaking of damage, Dhokla says, hey, Blaber, you ain't got no ulti, buddy. Easy pick for the Akali.
And that's what we're talking about. When the front line don't have flashes, there's so much threat from these assassins. Just walking around the map, you're going to have pick opportunities. No flash there from Trundle because of that topside play.
They're TPing on
Dhokla got a pick.
Yeah, the
They're
enemy
hard
jungler's
forcing.
down. Enemy jungler's down for 20 seconds. Even when he spawns, he won't be able to get back here very quickly. You've got Palafox, you've got Luger. The Baron will drop pretty rapidly. Contractz has his smite ready to go. Palafox going over the wall, looking for Berserker, gonna hit him pretty hard. Berserker loses shield going past him. Baron's at about 2,700. Okay, Jensen's not even there. Baron secured from CLG. Big Dokes looking for another one. Trying to find Zven. Doesn't even try. The Baron's already down. Dhokla gets
With the Ia in the shrouds. Clean looking right all the way back.
Dhokla is going off, man. 5-1-5, got bullied in lane. Who cares? He's been picking up the kills. And C9 now trying to pressure on the map here, trying to get themselves at least a dragon. But Fudge is in trouble.
Okay, Fudge gonna lead the way. Dominus trying to keep himself healthy enough to get out of this one. Berserker, no mana, half health. Oh, Poome's ulti doesn't catch anybody. That surely would have led to a kill if it did. Dhokla still looking. Jensen gets over the wall. Palafox, meanwhile, just wearing purple up here in top lane, doing whatever he damn well pleases because nobody's around to stop him. The Drake is alive, but neither side is stacking him just yet. Arrow flies through with no mark being found.
Dhokla's getting all the way up there. Let's see if they can actually make something happen. Our cooldown for the Akali coming up. They want to delay until he has that.
Yeah, that's a huge difference in the way this fight looks. Palafox also walking all the way across the rift to join back up as he goes over the wall. The Q3's ready to do it. He doesn't have his ulti just yet, but he doesn't need it. He kills the enemy AD carry. They take the dragon at the same time. CLG is absolutely slaughtering Cloud9 here in game number 4.
This is that CLG style. This is how they got all their upset wins over these top teams in the regular season. When they've got the flexibility in Champion Select and they are not afraid, both solo laners, to pick out these champions. constantly going for the picks.
Oh! Palafox getting exactly what he came for. Finds the kill on Zven, and that's 25 seconds until the Cloud9 support is back alive. A deep TP coming out.
Last chance
as we're going
alone.
to see C9 try to find any sort of a play. Yes, they will be 4v5 as soon as Berserker spawns, so this is a little bit risky. There comes the Draven ulti. Fudge still waiting. Poome might die, but he flashes away. And Contractz just made it look so quick and easy to disengage. Fudge goes over the wall, but he's right in the middle of 4. This one's done.
CLG gonna even us up, baby. You wanted 5 games. You wanted silver scrapes. Well, Cloud9 now they're strapped at their turret.
They're looking for it. Jensen goes in. Palafox gonna get shut down. Nice pick coming out from C9. Ashe arrow arrives, but it arrives late. There's Poome's ulti. Turns Trundle berserk, but he can't do much with it. Luger with a Zeri zap. Thank you very much. CLG will trade one back mid laner for mid laner.
Oh my God, there's so much action. CLG not afraid to dive in and get these kills time and time again. Cloud9 just trying to hold on, trying to scrape back whatever they can, but CLG are so far ahead and so much golden pockets. 3K on Luger to spend, 3,300 for Palafox to spend. It's just gonna get worse.
And they just bought the McHales for Poome as well. That second item we wanted to see so bad to stop these arrows from being successful for setting something up. C9's gonna need some kind of a miracle here. It's gotta be another Blaber Baron steal and to end the game right there, because I'm not seeing any other way that C9 could possibly win. The Draven and the Ashe, they're living in Akali horror simulator. Summoner's Rift might as well be Silent Hill for these guys, all right? You had better be checking every little corner, every little shadow.
I mean, it's so terrifying because it's not even just Dhokla. Palafox did the same thing to them as well. You gotta watch out for both of these guys who can absolutely destroy you at this point in the game. There's just not enough peel to even keep them off.
And this has been the new look of this CLG lineup. Any member can carry at different times, or sometimes all at the same.
Oh boy. Luger has found Blaber. The arrow comes through, stuns him up. Contractz with a push, but Blaber is not low enough that they want to overcommit. CLG not just mindlessly, recklessly throwing themselves in, trying to secure a kill. They're happy to just take him low, force him back. Use the opportunity to get the wave pushing up here in the top lane. Looking for the tier 3. Contractz goes for the eject, and he throws the 2 Cloud9 carries backwards. Now they'll have some free firing time onto the tier 3 turret here. Blaber gets hit with a handshake, but no real damage threat just yet. Top lane, tier 3 turret, 1/2 HP. Palafox, fate sealed, but nobody's behind him, so it's just a little bit of poke damage, and CLG backs away.
Forcing out the flash there, though, from Zven. CLG just getting so close to closing this one out, to forcing game 5, to forcing silver scrapes here. Trying to pull off a huge playoff win for this team. To take down Cloud9 would mean so much to the CLG team and the CLG fans.
We heard it from Dhokla himself in our video at the beginning of the day, talking about how strong of a team Cloud9 is, how well they've been playing, and how much it would mean to CLG if they could win this series. They said if they win this series, they feel like they can beat anyone.
That is an awesome thing to hear from a team that has just roared to life here in summer in a way that they have not been seen in what feels like decades, but in reality has still been years since CLG has been a real competitor, since CLG has been one of the big dogs.
Well, it's since 2019 since they've won a best-of-5 series, so it has been a while.
Hot minute. Indeed, a toasty second, my friend, as we do have 40 seconds until that next Drake spawns. The Drakes are very slow this game. It's still not Soul, even if CLG gets it. They're probably much more concerned here with the Baron, spawning in under 10 seconds now. C9, it's so dangerous for them to move up and even check this that you have to think CLG is just going to be going straight for it.
Okay, and you better think Blaber is thinking about that Baron steal he got on Nocturne.
Yep.
Can he repeat? He's got Flash, he's got Smite, he's got a Dream.
It's a little bit tougher with Trundle, as you kind of only have your Flash or that Blast going.
You got a good old club there, too.
Here comes Teleports is showing up. Blaber's on the front line. He's going to be focused. Palafox jumps in, buying a bit of time for everybody else. He's
Dhokla
very low. Dhokla sweeping in, swooping in, and cutting Cloud9 to pieces. Late game Akali does whatever she wants. And there
You want to go home?
Jensen. He's going home one way or the other, and Zven is going in the dirt as CLG is going to Game 5. We're going the distance, baby. Let's do it.
This series has been so back and forth. I wouldn't have it any other way. CLG crushed Cloud9 in game number 4 here, 20-5. They're gonna have some fun, pad the stats, and take down that Nexus. We're going the distance.
Action-packed series. What the analysts expected, what the people wanted.
I predicted 3-2 in this series as well, I'll have you know. Yeah. And honestly, the amount of 3-2s on the prediction board, no matter whose team logo was next to the 3-2, there was a startling amount of people thinking this one's going the full 5, and I am so damn happy we were all right.
And absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things that a lot of times when you make your predictions, you think, okay, 2 teams are pretty equal in strength, so you say 3-2. But a lot of those series don't actually go 5 games, right? Because one team figures something out, really creates an advantage that kind of gives them momentum throughout the series. This is actually 2 teams battling back and forth, giving us what we wanted, this absolute slugfest. Back and forth advantages taken out in drafts. We saw the Ashe dominate in the first time it got brought out. This time, it's Contractz making the difference, putting the Zeri ahead. And Ashe looked just useless the whole game long after that.
I think this game was super big for confidence as well.
Yes.
Being able to pull out the Akali and the Yone, double swap, flex later, and then having them be able to perform later on in this game. Like we said for Cloud9 at the beginning of the series when they had this giant lead, it's such a big momentum and confidence builder, and now CLG fighting back.
Especially after how the last game ended, right? With the kills at Baron, the game just ends. You could have easily seen CLG just kind of crumble after that.
Can't be living in the past.
But to be bringing out the confidence picks, to be flexing on them, even with a rough early game, Dhokla getting bullied in lane so hard, was so far down. They have that one big Rift Herald fight. He gets a couple kills, and it's off to the races for the Akali.
And at the beginning of the day, the desk was even talking about the experience difference playing in these playoff situations, playing in high-pressure best-of-5s between Cloud9 and CLG. They might not have won a best-of-5 since 2019, but they are damn well looking like they're ready to end it here today. We're going to Game 5, but